Okay, we'll continue where we left off. So see if you can attempt 8 all by yourselves. It's just a polynomial simplification, like multiplying and then subtracting. Careful, watch your signs. So over here, we are distributing, and over here also we're distributing. So I'm going to do that on the side, okay? We'll just FOIL it out. So 2x squared times 4x is 8x cubed. 2x squared times negative 5 is negative 10x squared. Watch your signs. And then 1 times 4x is 4x, and then 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. So that's over there. I'll do the same thing for the right expression. X times 2x squared is 2x cubed. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. 5 times 2x squared is 10x squared. And then 5 times negative 3, 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. But careful, when you're multiplying binomial, it's smart to kind of use parentheses here and then parentheses here. And if you're alive or alert, in the middle you have a negative sign. So, okay. Now I'm going to combine like terms. So which is really 8x cubed. Oh, good news. There are really no like terms. If you look carefully. If there were like terms, I would combine like terms. But over here, now I can just open up the parentheses. So it's 8x cubed minus 10x squared plus 4x minus 5. There's a negative sign in front, so the signs will flip. Plus 3x, careful. Minus 10x squared plus 15, correct? Combine like terms and tell me what you get. Check your answer. 6x cubed and then negative 20x squared plus 7x plus 10. Okay, check if you got that. Okay, question number 9 is we're solving a rational equation. Okay, so there are two methods I can do this. Method 1 that I prefer is you find LCMs. The LCM is 1 minus x times x plus 3. Okay, that's the common denominator. And you just clear the fraction. So I'm going to multiply both sides by that common denominator. I'll clear the fraction. So I like that method. You don't have to do that. You could also what is called cross multiply. That'll give you the same answer. But observe my method, please. Okay. So I distribute not distribute. I basically multiply both sides by that LCM. 5 over x plus 3 times 1 minus x plus 3. And that will just clear the fraction. It's the same process if you were to distribute, cross multiply. It'll give you the same answer. Now I'm just going to FOIL or distribute the left and the right, okay? So 3x times x is 3x squared, and then 3x times 3 is 9x, equals 5 times 1, which is 5, 5 times negative x, which is negative 5x. Let's get all terms to one side. See if you can finish the problem yourselves. So 3x squared, you'll add the 5x, so it'll become 14x minus 5 equals 0. See if you can finish yourselves. So you can do magic x. I'll multiply, I need two numbers and multiply to negative 15, which is 3 times negative 5. They should add up to 14. Get your signs right. So check if it's positive 15 and negative 1. So final answer, it's x plus 15 over the 3, the leading coefficient, and then x minus the 1 over the 3, it's minus 1. And then this just becomes 5. We can use fraction trick here. So final binomial product is x plus 5 and then 3x minus 1 equal to 0. So final answer, x equals negative 5 and x equals 1/3. Check if you got that. In the first step, you could have cross multiplied the expression. You could have got the same answer. Okay. You can pause the video, attempt question 10 yourselves. So it says, what's the average rate of change of that function from x equals negative 2 to x equals 3? In simple language, it's really asking for the slope, or what is called the secant line. say this is x equals -2. I'm just making a rough graph. Okay, so that's x equals -2. Say this is x equals 3. The question really is saying the phrase average rate of change means slope, or slope of a line through those 2 points on the graph. Okay, so the general formula for slope is, if this is x equals a, write this formula down, and this is x equals b. The formula is, so it's called slope of the secant line. It's f of b minus f of a all over b minus a. In simple language, if you observe, it's just rise over run. It's the change in y's over the change in x's, which is what slope is after all. Okay, it's delta y over delta x. But it's smart to kind of use this formula. Okay, it comes in calculus very frequently. So now it's very, very straightforward. So first I'll interpret the question the way it's written, and I'll use the formula. So it's basically f of 3 minus f of -2 all over 3 minus -2 comes positive. Okay, I'm just using the formula. So f of the second guy, which is x equals 3, minus f of the first guy. So I'm finding the change in y. Okay. Now sidebar, you can do f of 3 and then f of -2 yourselves. Do that on the side, please. So we just have to plug it in. 2 times 3 cube is 27, minus 3 times 3 square, which is 9. Okay, I'm plugging 3 into the function. So that's 54 minus 27, just 27. Similarly, I'll do f of -2. 2 times, careful, -2 cube, which is -8, watch your signs, minus 3 times -2 square, which is 4. So it's -16 minus 12, which is -28. Okay, now I'm ready to plug it in. So I observe I did the work in a sidebar. So f of 3 was 27 minus -28 all over 5, correct? 2 negatives make a positive. 27 and 28 make 45 divided by 5, which is 9. So what we're really saying is the slope of the line through those two x values on the graph, x equals -2 and x equals 3, the rise is 9, the run is 1. So the slope of the line, or what is called the secant line, is 9. Okay. You can pause the video, attempt 11 yourselves. Again, look over the work in number 10 once again if you need to. Observe the formula, please. So 11 says find the zeros of. So another word for zero is nothing but x-intercept. So we're really finding the x-intercept, okay? Other words are roots and solutions, yeah? But roots and x-intercepts are equivalent expressions for equivalent terms for zeros. So you set that equal to 0, okay? Do not open this, leave that alone. So it's 1/3 x plus 2 whole square. What can I do next step? You can subtract the 12. So that's -12. Next step, I can clear the fraction. You can multiply both sides by 3, which is -36. Careful now. So take square roots of both sides. Careful. You should really get plus or minus. Okay, you're taking square roots. And then the square root of 36 is 6. And the square root of you have a negative number there. So see if you remember from the school year, it's actually I, okay? It's an imaginary number, yeah? And then absolute last step, you'll subtract the 2, which is -2 plus or minus 6i, okay? So you have complex solutions. But it really does not have x-intercepts because you have imaginary roots. So you could also equally write no solution, okay? It really does not have roots. But if you were to solve for complex roots, that's what the answer would be, okay? We'll do question 12. It says, write the equation of the line passing through that point and perpendicular to that line. See if you can do this yourselves. Now, in case you've forgotten, we use the concept of point slope equation of the line. write it down in your notes. It's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So this is x1 and that's y1. Okay. If I knew the slope m, can you see I can plug it in? What are they giving us? I can find the slope. So they're giving us the equation of the line. All right. So if I solve for y, if this was in slope intercept form, can you see? I can just read out the slope. So that's what I'll do. So I'll solve for y. So we can subtract 2x, yes. And then last step, divide by 3. I'm isolating the y. So divide by 3 throughout. I'm only interested in the slope, which is this guy. So the slope is negative 2/3. Careful. But it says write the equation line passing through that point, and which is actually perpendicular to that line. So if our slope, which is this line slope, is negative 2/3, what's the slope of the line that's actually perpendicular? So the correct concept is we do negative reciprocals. So it's positive 3/2. Okay. So you flip the number and flip the sign. Now I'm ready to plug it in. So final answer, y minus 3 equals positive 3/2 parentheses x plus 1. Correct? Okay, look over the video again. Okay, we'll do 13 together. It says solve for y. So it's much, you can treat this like a rational equation again. Okay, put a 1 underneath. So you have two methods right now. You can either cross multiply or clear the fraction. Okay, see if you can finish it yourselves. I like clearing the fraction. Okay, so the LCM of 5x and 1 is 5x. That's the common denominator. So I'll clear the fraction. So 2y minus 3 over 5x times 5x equals negative 4 times 5x. Here, the fraction gets cleared. So we have 2y minus 3 equals negative 20x, which is what you'd got if you had cross multiplied. And just isolate the y. Do that yourselves. So you can add 3 to both sides. And then last step, divide by 2. You can either divide by 2 throughout, just say negative 20x plus 3 all over 2, or you can divide each term by 2, so you'll get negative 10x plus 3/2. Same expression. It's an equivalent expression. Okay. You can pause the video, attempt 14 yourselves. It solves, it's a factored quadratic. It says solve the inequality. I do not know if you remember this. For these kind of things, we can make a number line. You find the roots and then make a number line, and the answer shows up very quickly. So the two roots are negative 4 and negative 1/3. Oh, happily, they're in kind of order. Okay, negative 4 is below negative 1/3. And then see if this comes back. The powers are 1 and 1, which are odd powers. The leading term here is positive, so you start with positive. At negative 1/3, you have an odd power, so the sign will flip. Previous sign will flip. And then negative 4, you have an odd power, so the previous sign flips, so it'll turn positive. Look at the question. We're interested in negative numbers, so it's this guy. And then finally, we're below 0, we're less than 0, so it should be open circle. So absolute final answer, parentheses, negative 4 to negative 1/3 in interval notation. Yeah. Pause the video, see if you can do 15 yourselves. It's the square of a binomial. 2x cubed times 2x cubed, careful, is 4x6. You add powers. For the middle term, 2 times 3 is 6, times 2 is 12. And you write down the variable. And then finally, 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay, last question of the day. See if you can do 16 yourselves. Remember, pi over 3 is 60 degrees. So we'll first convert to degrees, all right? And then 4 times 60 is 240. So that's actually sine of 240. And 240 is in quadrant 3. And it's far away from the axis, so the reference angle is 60 degrees. See if that comes back. And then 60 across is negative radical 3 when in quadrant 3. Next to 60 is -1. Hypotenuse is 2. See if those properties come back.